The NBA draft withdrawal deadline is tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. And really, there's only a few big names that we are still waiting on. A lot of them leaked out yesterday. The biggest is Otega Oweh, Kentucky superstar. And as we approach this deadline, we've been doing almost daily updates at this point where we almost always imply he should return to Kentucky. As we approach this deadline, it sounds really conflicted. And there are some updates from people that are covering this situation that are implying that he's getting some feedback that may steer him to stay into the NBA draft. We'll see. I'll reference a few of these, but this started with a report from the one and only Matt Norlander on the Eye on College Basketball podcast. Shout out to Norlander. Go listen to the full episode. But the quote from Norlander was this: Otega Oweh has apparently gotten some really, really good feedback in the past 4 or 5 days. I previously thought that he was almost a guarantee to come back to Kentucky. I would still pick that he comes back, but apparently what he's gotten back recently has been good on that end. So we wait and see on that. Very different tone than our tone this entire time, which has been it's inevitable he's going to come back. At the bare minimum, this sounds like a legitimate toss-up of a decision. For what it's worth, Mark Pope is also adjusting his tune a little bit. There's a quote that Mark Pope gave 24/7 Sports yesterday that said, quote, "If he follows his heart and his heart tells him to come back, it's going to be great for us. If he follows his heart and his heart says he should go to the league, it's going to be great for us. It'll work out the way it's supposed to work out." These are completely different tones than what has been said in the last month. What do you think this means?
Well, for one, before I came down to record with you, Greg, I looked at my wife and I was like, you know what, it'd be really nice to go to bed early tonight. Had no clue that the deadline was 11:59. So there goes that, because we might be waiting for Otega Oweh at 11:59 and 37 seconds for him to go into the draft. This, I mean, we've done so many of these videos, right? And I think we've stayed pretty strong on, like, he's coming back, he's coming back, he's coming back. But the tone keeps shifting in a direction that's not one that's, at least to me, feels like he is coming back. Now, I'm not switching on that whatsoever, but the waiting until the last minute, the tone of things, Mark Pope himself saying, well, if he goes, it'll be all right. Like, well, it'll be great for the universe. Like, I don't know, the tone of everything is just not trending in the best direction. And I'm not changing my stance at all, but it's just like, I don't know, gotta just don't feel as good as I felt yesterday, I guess, as it gets closer to the deadline.
So the body language PhD took the biggest loss of its career when Yaxel Lendeboer decided to return to Michigan, because the body language PhD was like, I don't trust this kid at all. People are saying he's coming to Michigan. I don't trust it. So I'm almost hesitant to pull it back out. But I have a pretty clear interpretation of all of these updated quotes. And I do think you can actually compare the way Dusty May and reporters covered the Yaxel situation, compare and contrast it with the way Mark Pope is speaking on Otega Oweh. And I think there's a clear distinction of what is going on here. Dusty May spoke in like absolutes with Yaxel. Now, he wasn't like going on record to do a press tour about it, but anyone that could get to Dusty was like, yeah, he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Mark Pope has, I think, alluded all along to the fact that Otega will be back or should be back, but also that's because that's the logical thing here.
Mhm.
If we're 24 hours away from the deadline and Mark Pope is now speaking very vaguely to he's got to follow his heart wherever that leads him, it's going to lead him down the big blue brick road to glory. Like, I take this all to mean Mark Pope truly has no idea what Otega is going to do. That's my read on the situation. And I think like Norlander's report here, what he shared on the podcast, sort of reflects that. Like, I think anyone in college basketball would have said a week ago, he's got to come back, right? Like, he's not saying it, but like, it's the right move. It's the correct decision. He'll come back. And now we're 24 hours away. Otega's been keeping his cards close to the chest. He won't give anyone any hints. By the way, he's doing a workout today, the final day of the deadline. He has one more NBA workout to squeeze in. So, like, all of his actions outwardly indicate I'm serious about this. And if he's not telling anybody at this point, to me, my read, Mark Pope has no idea what's going to happen. Norlander basically is now also saying he's in the dark, right? From we went from this is what he should do, he'll come back to like, I don't know. It feels iffy, but I would still bet he would come back. It means Otega's not telling anyone anything. That's my read.
But why though?
I don't
I don't
know.
get because I don't know. Like part of the Mark Pope thing is the the close relationship, right? The players like he has more of a connection to Otega, I think, than a lot. I know he only coached 1 year at Kentucky, but like Otega Oweh was like the face of Mark Pope's first year and a very successful year for Kentucky. I just feel like they would be more on the same. Maybe they are on the same page. We don't know that, right? But it just seems that you know maybe Mark Pope in Kentucky would be like more in the know than they are.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it all around
Odd.
confusing.
Odd. And you know what odd leads to?
Surprises?
Yeah. And you want to know what a surprise would be?
Otega not coming back to Kentucky.
Yeah, which would be detrimental, by the way.
It would be a bad decision, straight up. If Mark Pope won't say it, I will. Otega leaving to be the 58th pick in this draft would be a flat out bad decision if that's what he does.
Would not be the first, it would not be the last bad decision
For sure.
by a college basketball player. But yeah, I mean I'm a pros and cons list guy. This seems like a pretty simple one to me. More money. Um, just it's well, more money. Did I mention that? Like, I just don't understand like why we're in such a rush to be the 57th pick.
More money, a chance to play for the name on the front, not the back. Big Blue Nation, tradition. What else? Superstardom, immortality. Um,
30 years from now, he can bring his kids back to Rupp.
yeah. Versus like, hey, I'm the 14th guy on the Celtics.
Which honestly, when you think
Honestly,
about it,
now when you say it like
when you
that,
say it like that though, it makes a little more sense.
does this remind you of anything? You ever seen this situation before?
Hmm.
Guy who very obviously should do something, dragging it out super silently though. Like that, not doing the Yaxel. Yaxel was like, "Hey, cameras, come here. Did you know that I'm still deciding?" This is like nobody talk to me. Let me do my workouts. I don't want to talk about this. It, it's one for one with somebody else that we've watched recently. Do you know who?
Oh, uh-uh.
Last year. Who did this last year?
Oh,
Kentucky star Jackson Robinson.
oh, but he ended up coming back.
Jackson Robinson didn't even announce before the deadline. Remember, it dragged into the next
Yeah,
day.
that was different though.
What was different about it? I think it's the exact same move.
Well, because like you're talking about like when like he went from BYU, like he transferred, right? Like because the transfer was part of that.
Yeah, but like he was going through the draft process.
Yeah, I guess it's just a little bit different the fact that like it was the BYU to Kentucky thing, but I guess there are some similarities
But
there.
I think he had committed to Kentucky at that point. It was just, am I going to go to the draft or come to Kentucky? And
He did he take that to the last day?
he took it past the last day. He literally did not say anything publicly through
Oh
the deadline.
yeah,
Remember?
they were like, oh, he forgot to take it. He forgot to withdraw.
Yeah, the next morning everyone was like, "Oh my God, he's gone. He didn't say anything." And then it like leaked out silently that afternoon. So anyway, conspiracy G time. What have I been saying Mark Pope needs to add to his bag?
It's some cutthroat.
A killer instinct.
Yeah,
We really believe that Jackson Robinson and Mark Pope weren't like this in lockstep the entire time last time. He wasn't being advised by Mark Pope on how to handle things.
he was.
The exact same situation is happening again. And we're now I know I opened this video by being like, I think Mark Pope doesn't know what's going on. That would make a lot less sense than Mark Pope knows exactly what's going on and is kind of weaseling this to be the last decision. so that PR wise, Kentucky gets the biggest final bump of all of this. The whole world waits on Otega Oweh's news, and guess what? It's good news for Mark Pope.
I like that angle. Can I throw another one out there?
Sure.
Well, what did Mark Post say at that press conference? Jokingly, I must say I know it was jokingly. Don't get on me. They got a big budget, right?
Oh yeah, biggest.
The biggest. Why don't you flex your money a little bit?
So do you think this is like Otega and their side being like, wait a second, I want more?
Yeah, maybe.
That doesn't seem like something Otega would do to me.
I realized through this whole process, I don't know Otega away.
Yeah, then again, this whole thing seems like something Otega wouldn't do, right?
Yeah, I'm, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. What's he gonna do?
He's gonna come back.
Yeah, I think by the time we get this video posted, he will have already announced that he's back. That's my
Damn it.
guess.